What's up everybody? It's your boy Philosco here, and today I'm doing something a little bit different on this channel. I've recently realized that a lot of English teachers are actually showing my videos in their classrooms. You know, I never thought I'd see the day that would happen, but a lot of them actually are. So from now on, at least 2 or 3 times a week, I'm going to start making videos specifically for teachers. Now, I mean, students, you can watch this too, but it might be at a little more of an advanced level than usual. So if you can't understand it, don't feel bad, but all teachers should understand this. They definitely should understand this, okay? So I'm gonna get to this. This is for teachers in Russia, it's for teachers in Germany, any teacher who's teaching English in a country in which English is not the first language, okay? So let's get to it. But more specifically for Russia, because I'm in Russia, so I understand what's going on here with the whole English thing more than anyone else. Now, first and foremost, just to tell you, I teach American English. Now, American English and British English, you know, they are different. But if you want to teach your kids some American things, sometimes you will need to watch my videos and you will need to pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, because this is one of the most important things to teach people about American English that I think a lot of teachers miss because it's not in textbooks. But I'm from this country and this is something that's very important, and trust me, okay? So what we're going to talk about is sensitivity with words in American English. Now, a lot of Americans are very sensitive. America is a sensitive country. You know what I mean? It's very sensitive. Your words can make you lose your job. It can make you lose your money. Even if you're not saying these words in a negative way, if you just pronounce it, you can lose your job. Your company could lose its money. Just that simple. Certain races of people can say certain words, certain sexes of people can say certain words, and other sexes can't, other races can't. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how it is in America, and I'm going to go over it with you, okay? So this is all about sensitivity. First thing you need to understand about sensitivity in America is with race or ethnicity. You know, like black, white, Hispanic, Asian, and other. This is what we usually call it, other. Now, for those teachers who are in Russia especially, one thing you need to know is that a lot of times your students may, you know, when they go to America, they may fill out an application and they want to know their race or ethnicity, and it shows a bunch of options. It won't say Russian, it would actually say like African American, Asian, Caucasian, something like that. Well, if you're a white person in America, your ethnicity or race is Caucasian. You are Caucasian male or Caucasian female. I know you have blue eyes, white skin, blonde hair, it doesn't matter. If you're white in America, your race or ethnicity is known as Caucasian. That's how it is. So don't look for Russian. Don't look for it. If you're from Germany, don't look for German. It's going to be Caucasian. If you're a white person, you're Caucasian in America, that's it. Even if it doesn't make sense, that's just what it is. Maybe we should fix it. Maybe we should, because it doesn't make that much sense. It doesn't. But as of now, that's what it is, okay? And it's called being politically correct, okay? You're Caucasian. Another thing with race is when you're a Caucasian, and I mean as in white person, you're not allowed to say the word nigger in any form, in any shape, or for any reason. Whether you're singing a rap song, whether you're just quoting a movie, or you're hanging out with your black friends and even your black friends allow you to say it, you shouldn't say it, especially in public, because a lot of people will look at you or maybe even want to fight you for using that word. That word is very powerful and you don't want to use it unless you're black. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, that's not fair. How come black people can say it but white people can say it? And why do black people say it all the time if they don't want white people to say it all the time? Okay, well, since you're a teacher and you understand, I guess, upper intermediate English, I'm going to try to explain this to you in a way that probably most won't understand who don't know English as a first language. Well, first of all, with anything that deals with sensitivity, usually in America, deals with the history of it. So the history of the word nigger comes from slavery, and during slavery, blacks were enslaved by whites. I know, not Russians, but blacks were enslaved by whites, and when whites had blacks enslaved, they called them nigger a lot, all the time. You know, ever since the 1600s, whatever, nigger, nigger, nigger. So it has a really bad history. So when a black person hears that word from a white person's mouth, they think of history and they think that this white person wishes that black person was a slave, or they think that this white person just thinks that they're a little better than the black person, or they feel that this white person doesn't respect the black person enough to not even not use the word. So the fact that they're even using the word around this black person is just disrespectful, like they don't care about the black person. They don't care about the history. They just don't care. And this is about in America, okay? So if a white person were to say it to another white person, but a black person heard it, he would still be offended because he feels that this white person should respect black people enough to not even use the word. And that's basically how it is. And it's because of the history. Now, of course, there are racist words towards white people too in America, like cracker, honky, peckerwood, but they don't have that much power in America, and odds are you won't get in trouble for it. If a black person calls a white person a cracker, he probably won't get in trouble. That's just how it is, and it's because of the history. We don't have a big history in America of black people doing, we don't have big historical injustices like blacks having white slaves in America. It's never been like that. And plus, blacks are the minority in America. We're only 12% of the population. You know, and white people are usually the ones running things. Sure, we have a mixed president. He's not black, he's mixed. He's black and white. His mother looks like Marilyn Monroe, okay? He's not black, he's mixed. But just from the population itself, we're a minority, and white people are a majority, and they've been running things for a very long time, so the word has more power if a white person says it to a black person, or if a white person just says it in general, because that person looks like he's racist and he wants black people to be low or stay low or become slaves or something like that. So basically, white people just cannot use it even when you're singing rap songs. And the best example I give to my students is, who's one of the best rappers in the world? Eminem. He's a white guy. He says every bad word you can imagine. Faggot, cunt, bitch, pussy, dick, everything. Fuck, everything. What is the one word Eminem never says? Exactly. Now to the next thing. With this term African American, now this one is specifically for Russia, and I don't know if you teachers do this in Brazil, but I'm going to teach you to stop calling your black people in your country African Americans. Stop. That's ridiculous. The term African American is for a black person who lives in America or is American. So when you see black people in your country, they're not African Americans. If you're in Russia, maybe they're African Russian, or if you're in Brazil, maybe they're African Brazilian, but they're not African American because they're not in America. And there's not many African Americans at all in Russia. The vast majority of the black people in Russia are Africans. But there's no reason to add American to that, unless that person has an American passport. If that person doesn't have an American passport, they're not African American. So stop teaching your students that. If anyone teaches their students that again, I'm firing you. You understand? That's ridiculous. I don't know who started that, but it's absolutely ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with just being African. That's absolutely fine. If you were to call me African, you wouldn't even be wrong, simply because of the fact that my blood is African. So if someone sees, one time I went to a store and the lady was like, "Where's your African friend from?" I was like, "Oh, hey, I'm from America. I am African because of my blood, but I'm American because of my passport, not because of what I look like." Africans don't come from America. They come from Africa. So African American is only a term for someone you know who's American, such as myself, okay? Now to the next one. Sensitivity with religion. Yes, this one is another topic. Well, I would put it this way. There's not many bad words or anything that refer to like religion in general, but just speaking about religion in school or at work could really offend people and get you in trouble. So for instance, you can say something like, "Hey, telling your friend, you're talking to your friend, but someone else hears it. Yeah, I'm a Christian, I believe in God, Jesus Christ, He's our Lord and Savior," or whatever. Someone else from another religion can hear it and get offended and complain, and you might get in trouble for talking about it. For you talking about your religion to another person's ears may sound like you're saying that their religion is wrong. So if a Christian talking about her religion at work, especially at work, talking about how her religion, she loves her Jesus Christ, and the Muslim person can hear it, the Muslim person could be offended, tell the boss, and that Christian may lose his job. You're not supposed to speak about religion at work. You're not supposed to speak about race at work, especially if you're a boss. Especially if you're a boss. You don't want to do that if you're a boss. If you have workers, you do not want to speak about religion because you can easily offend your employees because they're under you. And they can say, you are trying to basically force that religion on them. You don't want to do that. Just avoid religion in general. People get very overworked about it. And if you're an atheist, don't even mention it. Just don't speak about it when you're at work or in school. Outside, it's fine. This stuff is fine outside. But at work or in school, just avoid the topic of religion in general because it could get you and a company in trouble. Avoid it. Next is weight. Weight refers to like how heavy a person is. Weight, you know? In America, we have a lot of big people. Now, when you want to talk about a big person, don't use the word fat. The word fat, oh, it's under my eye. The word fat is very disrespectful. The word fat can get you in trouble, and it can definitely hurt feelings. So I would say if you want to speak about a person who's big, just say, you can say big or plus size or full figured for a woman. So if I see a fat guy walking by, I was like, oh yeah, you know, he was a big guy, he walked by. Or I was like, oh, you know, he was a not full figured guy, you don't want to say that, you know, he was a heavy set guy, you know, he was walking by. But using fat, don't do it. It'll probably get you in trouble or get you into a fight. Don't use it. Next is with sexual orientation. And there's something in my eye over here, I don't know what's going on. Sexual orientation. This is like if someone's gay, lesbian, transsexual, bisexual, you know, all that stuff. Now, in America, sensitivity with the whole gay thing is extreme. And your students have to understand that. They have to understand to ignore certain things they might see in the country and not comment on it because it could get them in trouble and it could worsen international relations between us. So, for example, let's say a Russian student goes to America and like there's a camera just filming in the street. And there's two guys kissing. They're kissing, they're grabbing each other's butts. Because you'll see this. You'll see it. They're kissing, they're grabbing each other's butts. If that Russian person were to get offended, walk by on camera, say something like, oh, faggots, or oh, go get a room, that's going to be all over the news. It's going to be all over the news. Russians in America being bigots and being prejudiced and all this stuff. You have to be very careful when you're from another country and you're in another country when it comes to their customs and their cultures. You have to respect it. And in America, what you have to understand is being gay is completely normal. It's very normal in America. So when you go to America, it's best to avoid it, it's best to not talk about it, and it's best to not let people know you're uncomfortable with it. Even though a lot of people may agree and be uncomfortable with it too, we don't say it. Because we understand how things are going in America right now. And if you say something like, I'm kind of uncomfortable around gay people, you will be looked at as hateful. You will be looked at as a hateful person. And your students need to understand that. So when you're in America, it's best to avoid the whole gay topic. And if someone even asks you about why do you feel this about gays in your country, don't even answer it. Just avoid it. This isn't just at work. This is anywhere. This is at a bar. Just avoid it. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Just don't talk about it because that is probably the most sensitive topic right now in America is lesbian, gays, transsexuals, and bisexuals. You know, you don't want to do it. You want to avoid that. And other than that, I think that's it. This is just basically my way of kind of filling you guys in on how things are in America, okay? So, quick review. Race, you don't want to say the word nigger unless you're black. Only black people can say it because of the history. There's other racist words like cracker, honky for white people. There's spick for Hispanics. You want to avoid that. There's chink for Asian people. You want to avoid that. There's kike for Jewish people. You definitely want to avoid that because Jews are known to have a lot of power in America. So you definitely want to avoid the word kike. Now to religion, don't speak about religion in school or at work. It is not worth it. You could get in trouble big time, especially if you're a boss. You could get your company sued. It's very sensitive. Don't mention it. Next is with weight. There's a lot of big people in America. You gotta kind of ignore the fact that they're big in a way. Sometimes, because there was a story on American news where there's a lady who went to a fashion outlet. And you know, she was very big and she wanted to buy clothes. They didn't have any clothes that fit her. She was crying that it was discrimination and it was all over the news. This is a store for models. This girl was a complete circle. But still, don't refer to big people as circles, okay? God damn it. That's just my thing. Don't use that. It's insensitive to call fat people circles. But anyway, she was basically a circle, and she goes into the store looking, a model store, looking for clothes to wear. No clothes could fit her. She complained. It was all over the news, and these people almost got in trouble. Ridiculous. But you just gotta be very sensitive to them. And sexual orientation, avoid the topics of homosexuals, avoid the topics of gays, whatever, all that. Just avoid the transsexual, bisexual, and you'll be fine. So explain these things to your students in a much quicker way. I know I've been here for a long time, but I care for you teachers. And stop using African American in Russia. That's retarded. Stop it. And other than that, that's it. later.